Let's make a building that represents leisure in your civilization. So I've looked at these and I've decided that I'm going to make some sort of stadium. It's going to be open. I'd like some seating and possibly some doors around the outside for the audience to be able to get in. So I've signed into Tinkercad and I'm going to create a new design. And first of all, I need to decide what my dimensions are going to be. Because I want it to be round, I'm probably going to be using something that looks like this, that's 40 by 40 by 35. So we've decided that it's going to be round. So over here, let's change this to snap to grid. And so that means that any movements are going to move by 2 millimeters, be easier to make it precise. And I'm also going to edit my grid. So I'm going to make it 40 by 40. And that's going to be a visual reminder of how big my stadium can be. Now I'm going to start off with a cylinder. If I click on the white squares, I can change it to 40 by 40. It doesn't have to be the maximum size, but I'm going to take advantage of those dimensions. Now I've done that, I need to try and make a hole in the middle where my audience and my sports can take place. So if I take out a cone, let's put it over here, and then I can change the top radius. So I can stretch that out. And if I look at it from a side-on view, it's starting to look like, if I put that in the middle, if I resized it, turned it into a hole, that could be the center. So let's resize this and let's make it 25 by 25, turn it into a hole and drag it into the center. Now, I'm going to use the cone at the top to pull it up. So that doesn't change the size, that just translates the shape up and down. And I can see by this number here that it's 4 millimeters off the ground. I'm going to make that 2. So pull that down. That should be 2. And it's sticking out the top. Now it's not centered. So if I click on one of the shapes, hold down Shift, click on the other one. I've selected 2 shapes. Click Align, and then use these handles to center it. And now they're aligned with one another, and this shape is right in the center of this one. We're going to be using that a lot today. Now I'm happy with that. If I do Control A, Control G, it groups them. And there you go. That is the beginning of my amphitheatre. So now I've made an area for my performances to happen in the middle. We need some doors. And I'm going to take out a box. And I'm going to resize the box. Let's have a door that's maybe 4 millimeters. And let's make it, that should do. Now, that is not a door at the moment because it's a solid shape. So just as we did before, if I click on this arrow, click on hole, that is starting to look like a door. Although if I do Control A, Control G, you'll see that it's gone all the way through. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to click undo, going to raise this up slightly by 2 millimeters again. So I'm going to, the base of my amphitheatre, my stadium, is going to be 2 millimeters. I could have one door, or if I like, I could do Control C, Control V, and I can move it around here and then rotate it. If I rotate on the outside of these calibrations, it will move by 1 degree at a time, or if I move on the inside, it's easier to get to 90 degrees. And there we go. In a minute, we'll align the doors using the Align tool again. There we go. And one more. Now I've done that. Select them all. Click Align. Now it's pulled these 2 doors into the middle, but that's not going to be a problem because if I click off, now using these, they should be pretty much centered. Now I do Control A, Control G. That is now a stadium with doors. Slight problem here, because as you can see, then they're not all even. So all I need to do is click undo and tap that in by a couple of millimeters, Control A, Control G, and there we go. We've got access for our performers to get into our stadium. Now, the height of this at the moment is 20 millimeters, and I can make it up to 35. So let's make room for our audience to sit. And we're going to be using the tube just here, and I would like to put this tube on the top. Now, the easiest way to do that is by changing the work plane. I'm going to put the tube up here and resize the tube. So let's make it 4 millimeters and then readjust these sizes. Again, typing is the easiest way to do this, to 40 by 40, which is our maximum size, and then align the two shapes. So hold down Shift to select the two, click Align, click this handle, and that's our seating. You can also, if I click off and click the tube, I can change the wall thickness. So maybe like this, and we're going to put more layers of seating on top. So let's do another one. In fact, let's push this down to make sure, make this 6. In fact, it should be fine. So let's do Control A, Control G. Let's put the work plane up here, take out another tube and repeat the process. But this time the tube wall thickness is going to be slightly thinner, and that way we're going to get some tiered seating effect. Here we go. Deselect. Make this 4 millimeters again, and then let's make the wall thickness. Can we click on here? Yes, we can. Let's make that 2. And we can do many layers as we like, as long as it doesn't exceed 35 millimeters in height. So let's have a look. We do Control A, Control G. Control A selects them all. Control G selects, groups them all together. So it's 28 millimeters high at the moment. Let's do another one. Pull the work plane out, pull out a tube, resize the tube, align them. So hold down Shift, select the two shapes, click Align, click, click, and then change the height of the shape to, we've been doing 4 millimeters, and then change the thickness of the wall. This time, probably wouldn't go any less than 1.5. Once you're happy with that, you can rename it. You could call it. Once you're finished, you can export it and print it. Have a go at creating your own stadium.